So hello everyone. So I'm the first discussant for this topic. So our topic is all about the process of creating a comprehensive session plan for an educational or training session. So this report is prepared by Nacario Apriel, Aparace Cindy, Gerona, Marc, Erico. So let's get started. So first, we have the importance of defining clear and measurable learning objectives. So learning objectives are crucial for instructors to design fair course assessment plans, select appropriate content, activities, teaching strategies, and technologies, and align critical course components to support student learning. So they serve as a map for students, providing a clear picture of the course direction and expectations for success. So this statement emphasizes that learning objectives are essential for instructional design. So they provide a roadmap for instructors to guide students in their learning journey and ensure that assessments, content activities, and teaching strategies align with the desired learning outcomes. Learning objectives also enable instructors to assess students' performance effectively and provide valuable feedback for improvement. So we have an example here. So example of a learning objective in TLE cookery. Learning objective by the end of the course, the students will be able to demonstrate proficiency in preparing and presenting a variety of culinary dishes. So clear learning objectives help instructors to selecting appropriate content activities and teaching strategies that align with desired outcomes. So learning objectives provide students with a clear understanding what they're expected to achieve. By outlining the design results, students can set goals and work towards acquiring the necessary knowledge and skills and attitudes in TLE cookery. So in TLE cookery, defining clear and measurable learning objectives is crucial for guiding instructional design, setting expectation for students, assessing performance, and monitoring learning progress. So by focusing on specific results like this, students will be able to demonstrate proficiency in preparing presenting a variety of culinary dishes. So it provides clear criteria for assessment. Learning objectives can help create a structured and effective learning environment that supports a student's success in acquiring culinary skills and knowledge. So next, the strategies for designing engaging and interactive activities that align with learning objectives. To craft compelling session plans that meet learning goals, instructors can utilize diverse methods. One effective method or strategy involves integrating interactive training, games, and activities to enhance engagement and facilitate lasting learning experience. And another valuable approach is fostering collaborative learning environments where students engage in group discussions or collaborative projects. These activities promote a sense of community among learners, encouraging peer-to-peer interaction and sharing of diverse perspectives, which is ultimately enriches the learning process. So this statement highlights the importance of utilizing diverse methods in crafting session plans that effectively meet learning goals. Two specific strategies are mentioned. First, we have integrating interactive training games and activities and fostering collaborative learning environments. So the statement suggests that incorporating interactive training, games, and activities, as well as fostering collaborative learning environments, can contribute to crafting compelling sessions plans that effectively meet learning goals. So these strategies enhance engagement, facilitate lasting learning experience, and encourage the students to share their knowledge and perspective among students. So here's an example. So in the field of TLE agriculture, instructors can employ various strategies to design engaging interactive activities that align with the learning objectives. So one effective approach is to incorporate interactive training games activities to enhance students' engagement and facilitate lasting learning experience. So we have an example here in a lesson on plant propagation techniques. Instructors can organize a hands-on activity where students are divided into teams and given different plant cuttings to propagate. The teams can compete against each other to see who can successfully propagate the most plants within a given time frame. This is interactive game not only reinforces the learning of plant propagation techniques, but also fosters a sense of competition and excitement among the students.
So good day everyone. I am the second discussant. So this is the continuation of Ms. Nacario about the sixth process of creating a comprehensive session plan for an educational or training session. So number 3 is consideration for selecting appropriate resources, materials, and technology to support the session plan. And selecting appropriate resources, materials, and technology to support the session plan is crucial for effective learning. First, it is important to consider the learning styles of the participants, and different people absorb an information different ways. So a variety of materials like visual aid, audio resources, and hands-on activities can cater to diverse learning styles. Secondly, the relevance of materials to the session objective should be assessed. Then the resources should be directly support the learning goals and be up to date and accurate. Then lastly, the accessibility and ease of use of technology should be considered, and that technology should be user-friendly and accessible to all participants, ensuring that no one left behind due to technological barriers. So we have here examples of selecting appropriate resources. So and at the LT session focused on culinary arts, the instructors need to carefully select resources, materials, and technology that support the session plan and ensure effective learning. Instructor acknowledge that participants may have different learning styles. Some may have visual learners, while others may prefer hands-on activities to cater these diverse learning styles, and the instructors includes a variety of resources such as recipe cards with step-by-step instruction, cooking demonstration videos, and hands-on cooking activities. The instructors consider that accessibility and ease of technology for all participants to ensure that the technology used, such as cooking videos, our digital recipe apps is user-friendly and accessible to all. This includes providing alternative session for the participants may have limitation of or preferences such as printed recipe cards for those who prefer physical copies and additional assistance for participants who may struggle with technology. So this is an example of in selecting an appropriate resources, materials, and technology to support the session plan. So next is the significance of sequencing activities and managing timing to ensure a smooth flow of the session. So it is are essential for engagement and maintaining and ensuring a smooth flow by carefully planning the order of activities. Trainers can create a logical progression that builds on previous knowledge and skills. This helps participants to understand and retrieve information more effectively. Additionally, sequencing activities allows for progressive increase in competency and complexity, and ensuring that participants are well prepared for each new concept or task. Managing timing is equally important as it helps trainers to allocate sufficient time to each activity by preventing rushing or dragging one's certain topics. This ensures that participants have enough time to fully engage with the content and actively participate in discussions or exercises. And proper timing also allows for breaks and transitions, which helps maintain focus and prevent fatigue. Ultimately, effective sequencing and timing contribute to a cohesive and impactful learning experience. By maximizing the potential for knowledge retention and skills development, sequencing activities and managing time in a session are essential for maintaining engagement and ensuring smooth flow. So we have here examples of the number 4 and sequencing activities and managing timing in a session plan. And at the LA session, focus on a graphic design, the trainer recognized the significance of sequencing the activities and managing timing to ensure a smooth flow of the session. The trainer introduced basic graphic design principles such as color theory and typography. Through a brief presentation, participants then engage in hands-on activity such as creating a proper using specific colors and font styles. The trainers manage the timing to prevent rushing or dragging. After the hands-on activity, a group discussion conducted encouraging collaboration and learning from each other group. The trainer introduces more advanced graphic design techniques, gradually increasing complexity while um while engagement while to engagement and preventing fatigue. So this is an example of it. It shows that the it shows that it is examples of increasing activities and managing timing in a session plan.
So, the role of assessment methods and in evaluating learner comprehension and achievement of learning objectives. So, assessments are essential for understanding how well learners grasp and meet learning goals. They help teachers figure out if their teaching methods are working and how well students understand the material. Assessment methods can be divided into two groups: direct methods like tests, projects, and presentations, and indirect methods like surveys, interviews, and observations. Using a mix of assessment techniques gives a fuller picture of student learning. When assessment match learning goals, evaluations are more focused and meaningful. Assessment should accurately measure what you want your students to learn. So, this is the importance of assessment um, in a learning environment. No, so using assessment, we can measure what our students learned from our lesson or our topic. So it is important to identify the role of assessment methods in achieving our learning objectives. Now, in a TLE session focused on web development, the instructor also, this is an example, okay? So, the instructor recognizes the importance of assessment methods in evaluating learner comprehension and achievement of learning objectives. The learning objective for the session is for students to demonstrate their understanding of HTML coding and HTML coding and their ability to create a basic website. To assess their comprehension and achievement of this objective, the instructor then utilizes a mix of assessment techniques. The instructor assigns a coding project to students, allowing them to apply their knowledge and skills in a practical manner. The project is evaluated based on accuracy, completeness, and functionality of the HTML code. An indirect assessment method is used, which involves conducting a survey to gather feedback on students' understanding of HTML concepts, confidence in coding, and perception of their learning progress. This method provides insight into students' self-perception, confidence, and overall understanding of the material. Observations during class activities and discussion are also used to assess students' participation, engagement, and ability to apply HTML coding principles. This combination of direct and indirect assessment methods provides a comprehensive understanding of students' comprehension and achievement of learning objectives in the web development session. So again, assessment helps us to um, have a grasp of completion or our achievement in um, in achieving our learning objectives. So it is essential. Okay, so uh, for our observation in our students' growth or trainees' growth. So techniques for revising and refining the session plan based on feedback and reflection. So getting feedback and reflecting on your teaching is important for making your session plan better. This helps you adjust your teaching methods to fit your students' needs. After teaching a session, ask your students for feedback to find out what worked well and what could be improved. You can collect feedback in different ways, such as surveys, talking with them, or watching how they learn. Teaching about your Thinking about your teaching lets you see what you did well on what you could do better. You can make changes for the future sessions based on your thoughts and any feedback you receive. You can reflect by yourself or with other teachers to get different ideas. After getting feedback and reflecting, you can improve your session plan by changing things like how you teach, the activities you do, the assessment you use, or the timing of things. Keep making your session plan better so it stays helpful and current. Now, for example, in a TLE session focused on cookery, the instructor understands the importance of receiving feedback and reflecting on their teaching on to continuously improve the session plan. After reading a session on baking techniques, the instructor seeks feedback from the students to understand what worked well and what could be improved. They distribute a survey to gather feedback on various aspects of the session, such as the clarity of instructions, the engagement level of activities, and the overall learning experience. The survey also includes an open-ended questions to allow students to provide additional comments or suggestions. Based on the feedback received and personal reflections, the instructor revises and refines the session plan for future sessions. So they make changes to teaching methods such as incorporating more visual aids or providing additional hands-on activities to enhance student engagement. They may also adjust the timing of certain activities to ensure a smoother flow and better utilization of time.
The potential challenges or obstacles that may arise during the creation of session planning and strategies for overcoming them. So here are the challenges we see and may arise during the creation of session plan. So first, lack of clarity in goals. So without clear and well-defined learning objectives or goals, educators struggle to design the appropriate activities, assessments, um, instructional strategies. Lack of clarity can lead to confusion among both educators and learners, hindering the overall effectiveness of the session. So this challenge may arise if the learning objectives or goals of the session plan are not clearly defined or communicated. So it can occur due to a lack of understanding or alignment among educators, resulting in confusion about what students are expected to achieve. So next we have poor alignment. Alignment refers to the consistency and coherence between the learning objectives, instructional strategies, activities, and assessments within a session plan. When there is poor alignment, learners may not fully grasp the intended outcomes, leading to confusion and inefficiency in the learning process. Poor alignment can occur when there is inconsistency or lack of coherence between the learning objectives, instructional strategies, activities, and assessment within the session plan. So this can lead to this disjointed learning experience where students may struggle to understand the purpose or relevance of activities and assessments. So next, we have the limited resources. Insufficient resources such as materials, technology, or funding can pose challenges in session planning. Without adequate resources, educators may not be able to provide engaging and meaningful learning experience for their students. This can hinder the effectiveness of the session and limit the opportunities for students to achieve the learning outcomes. So, limited resources can arise due to various factors such as budget constraints, lack of access to technology or materials, or insufficient time. When resources are limited, educators may face challenges in providing engaging and meaningful learning experience for the students, impacting the effectiveness of the session. To have last, the diverse learning needs. Students in a classroom often have diverse learning needs, abilities, and backgrounds. Designing a session plan that addresses these diverse needs can be challenging. Failure to consider and accommodate these differences can result in some students feeling excluded and struggling to fully engage with the content, impacting the overall effectiveness of the session. So, diverse learner needs can arise from differences in learning styles, abilities, backgrounds, or prior knowledge among students. Educator may encounter challenges in designing a session plan that effectively addresses these diverse needs and ensure equal opportunities for all students to engage and succeed in learning process. So, if there's challenges, there are also strategies for overcoming them. So with the strategies in overcoming the lack of clarity in goals, so we have the clearly defined learning objectives or goals at the outset of the session plan. Strategy is to ensure that the objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, which is SMART. Next, the core alignment. Regularly review and revise a session plan to ensure alignment between learning objectives, instructional strategies, activities, and assessment. So next, the strategy in overcoming limited resources. Explore alternative resources and materials that are readily available or can be obtained within the constraints of the session. Next, we have utilized technology tools or online resources to enhance the learning experience. We have the diverse learner needs. Conduct a thorough needs assessment to identify specific needs and abilities of learners. Incorporate differentiation strategies such as providing multiple learning pathways or offering varied instructional materials to address diverse learning abilities. And lastly, foster a supportive and inclusive classroom environment where all learners feel valued and included.
Good day once again. So, in creating an impact of effectiveness planning is a complex task that can be fraught with potential obstacles. So, this challenge represents an opportunity to refine improved planning process. One of the first obstacles that educators may encounter in session planning is lack of clarity in goals. To address this, it is crucial to clarify, define learning objectives at the outset of the session plan. These objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This is to ensure the both session, thereby guiding the learning process effectively. And next is the poor alignment between learning objectives. So, instructional strategies, effective activities, and assessment can hinder the effectiveness of the session plan. To overcome this, the educators or the trainer should regularly review and revise session plan to ensure alignment. So this process, often referred to as backward decision, involves starting with desired learning outcomes and designing activities and assessment that align with these outcomes. Then the limited resources can pose a significant challenge in session planning. Then, however, these obstacles can be addressed by exploring and alternative assessment and materials that are really available or can be obtained within. So, by it overcoming this obstacle involves conducting true needs assessment to identify the specific needs and abilities of learners, incorporating differentiation strategies such as providing multiple learning pathways or offering varied instruction materials can address diverse learning styles and abilities. Furthermore, fostering a supportive and inclusive classroom environment where all learners feel valued and included enhance the learning experience for all.